Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of Beyond Sanctorum, the second studio album by the Swedish metal band Therion, or Therion. You can pronounce it however you like. Back in January we celebrated the 30th anniversary of the record. Sadly, I wasn't reviewing music back then, I wasn't even on YouTube. I came back later, but I still didn't want to miss out on this thing, so I'm doing this review today. As you may know, I've been a massive fan of this band since I was born. The reason for that was my sister. She listened to them every day. Every album from Of Darkness to Woven, then The Giant, I think? That's the name, right? I have no idea how to pronounce that one. Later other albums came out and they were great as well. Anyways, Beyond Sanctorum represents the old days of Therion, when they were a death metal band. Not a symphonic rock/metal band. While Of Darkness featured just a death metal sound, this is the first Therion record where they decided to experiment on their sound. They've included some elements of traditional Persian music, some clean vocals, male and female, and a slight symphonic touch. The combination of all these things created a very unique sounding experience, one that still sounds fresh to this day. As you can see here, we have the track list and the personnel: Christopher Johnson on vocals, guitar, bass, Peter Hanson on guitar, keyboards, bass, and Oscar Force on drums. What's interesting about those guys is the fact that all of them except Chris left the band after this album. I will not be reviewing the demo versions of the tracks because they are very similar to the album versions. The production on this record is very raw, but it sounds clean at the same time, so I guess it's tight. I really enjoy it. Message is diverse. Songs are mostly about afterlife, occult stuff, Cthulhu, very weird shit. Later Therion would make music about dragons and some cult that worships them. Structure-wise, this album is all over the place, from basic structures to progressive ones. It's very interesting. You have some songs that just keep on going without repeating any segment, like at all. There's just like 10 to 20 segments. The band doesn't give a fuck. They just create new riffs, new bass ideas, new drums, new symphonic elements. Some stuff is technical, which means it does have many segments, but they still have a chorus or maybe a verse is repeated somewhere. An advanced structure is the one where there are many repetitions, but there are like 5 or 6 segments. Musically, this is a mix of progressive death metal, doom metal, some symphonic stuff, and also that old school classic death metal sound from the beginning of the 90s. It's a very unique hybrid of sounds. The album starts with Future Consciousness, and this is one of my favorite songs on the record already. It's vicious, it's heavy, it's brutal, it's so fucking fast. I love the first minute of this song. One of the best openers ever. Like, this is so heavy, you wouldn't even believe that there are going to be some melodic symphonic songs on this record, because it's just so old school and in your face. I love the vocals here, the guitar work, the bass, the drums. Later the song slows down in the last part, like the last 2 minutes, and it's very doomy and gloomy, but still amazing. I love everything about it, but that first minute is my favorite part of the song. 10 out of 10. What I really don't like is the fact that you cannot find lyrics to this song online. Instead, they are just repeated from the next song, Pandemonic Outbreak. I have no idea why. Can someone post lyrics to Future Consciousness? Going back to the Pandemonic Outbreak, this is a great song. It has that Sepultura vibe about it, especially in the beginning riffs. Beneath the Remains / Arise vibe, like 100%. One of the weaker songs on the record, but still it kicks ass. It's much more straightforward than most of the stuff here, but I still enjoy almost all of the riffs and the vocals and the drums. 8 out of 10. Cthulhu, on the other hand, slows down for a bit. It features more gloomy and doomy death metal sound. It's still very heavy and angry at its core, but it also creates some very weird sounding atmosphere. I enjoy this song, a lot, but still, it's not a masterpiece. But it's great. It's great. 8 out of 10. Symphony of the Dead is one of my favorite songs from this band. I just love the first 4 minutes of it. It's very atmospheric and just calm. Lots of symphonic elements, beautiful vocals. I love this song. It's like a prequel to what Therion is going to do on their next albums, you know, the symphonic ones. Those first 4 minutes are 12 out of 10 for me, but then the song shifts towards more classic death metal approach. It's not as good as the first part of the song, still great track, 10 out of 10. Later they've made a new version for that compilation from 1997, the one that has 2 heads of Kerry King floating in space or some shit. I already did a review of that compilation album, and that version, while it doesn't have death metal elements, it's just not as good to listen to as this one. The title track starts with some very weird noises, I adore it, then it has that classic death metal riff, doom doo doo, very slow, atmospheric, heavy, straight to the point, no repetitions here. The first minute and like 20 seconds of this song are just legendary. Later it kinda gets worse, but it still retains the good qualities it has. 10 out of 10. Enter the Depths of Eternal Darkness features that very dark sound of the previous song like Cthulhu. I love that beginning riff. The first minute of this song is just out of this world. Later it kinda becomes a little bit fillerish, but they have so many interesting riffs here and drum work that you can just forget about those weaker parts because there are just so many great parts here. Another masterpiece, 10 out of 10. Illusions of Life is another song that sounds like an experiment. It's a good one. The highlight of this song are the drums. The drummer is just killing it, I love it. The bass work as well. Some of the riffs don't land here, but overall it's a great song, 8 out of 10. The Way is the magnum opus of this band. It's an 11-minute journey through spectrum of emotions. It's just so great. So many unique guitar riffs here and melodies. This song has more riffs than an entire Metallica album. Imagine that. Listen to The Way right now. This is The Way. This is what the Mandalorian show was all about this way. Amazing track. My favorite part starts right in the middle, I think. This is an essential progressive death metal song that you should check out. 11 out of 10, legendary shit. Puffs on the other hand features some opera shit, many female voices. I enjoy this song a lot. It has a specific atmosphere. It reminds me of some old video game from the 90s. Doom metal at its finest, 10 out of 10. And the final song on the record, Tyrants of the Damned. I think the lyrics were about the Third Reich, just a middle finger to the Nazis. Amazing track, but the weakest one on the record. I still love some of the guitar work, but it feels like it's not as unique as the previous songs. Still great, 8 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable and the flow is fitting. Replayability, hell yeah, it's an excellent record. I enjoy it from beginning to the end. Some of the songs are not of the same quality as rest of the record, but it's still an amazing work that you should check out if you haven't yet. It's one of the best Therion records, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is Lepaka Cliff-Off. I cannot wait to review it for the 30th anniversary in 2025, I think. But Beyond Sanctorum is worth your time. Check it out. Listen to the beginnings of Therion, how they sounded. Nowadays their music sounds like a joke, but back in the 90s and early 2000s they were the shit. They were the best band on the earth. Thank you for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my other reviews. Bye!